Hi, my name is Nacho Yescas, and I am the host of the new show, Total Health Collective, live Saturday afternoons at 5 p.m. here on 1150 a.m. KKNW.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up.
Welcome to the Total Health Collective. My name is Don, aka Nacho Yescas. And today, our topic will be cancer and the benefits of holistic healing. Our show today is sponsored by Chemo Beanies. Chemo Beanies is a family business founded out of love and necessity when two sisters were diagnosed with breast cancer. Check out their full story on chemobeanies.com. For more information on their products, call them at 866-526-2001 or click on our blog at thishealscancer.com. Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to have a few guests today. Today, I would like to introduce Dr. Faith Lucian. Dr. Faith Lucian is one of the top chiropractors with a phenomenal reputation with integrating medical and holistic therapies to help severely ill patients in the realm of neurological disorders, holistic ways that cancer patients can stay healthy while undergoing their medically supervised treatments, and mindset. She retired from the second practice in Manhattan Beach, California and Torrance, California on May 29, 2015. to pursue an online global career in coaching. She is the founder and owner of Worldwide Impact Coaching, Total Body Balance, and the Faith Effect Global. Dr. Faith is also starting to lay down the foundation for creating an institute in Southern California that will help patients suffering from chronic and acute pain, mild to moderate traumatic brain injuries, PTSD, RSD, sports injuries, car accident victims, and work-related injuries. It will not only be an institute where patients receive treatment, but it will also be an academy where patients can learn how to deal with their emotional and physical problems to help them through their healing process. For more information, check out worldwideimpactcoaching.com or thefaitheffectglobal.com. Dr. Faith, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Nacho.
No, thank you. Last show we're talking about Senator John McCain and, cancer. And, as you know, I'm a big believer in holistic healing, and I don't know much about it. I'm still learning. And I know that this is your field, and this is why I go to you for tips, advice, and just enlighten me on holistic healing. So, I figured I would let my listeners get a little bit more insight on holistic healing and hear it from, the experts like yourself. So, I suffer from chronic back pain, and I'm doing what I can to try to find a remedy. And this is the world that you're in. So I'd love for you to talk a little bit about holistic healing or what you do and how you help society every day.
I can definitely answer those questions. But, let's get right into your back pain. 80% of the population has some kind of pain, and it's usually back pain.
Mm-hmm.
And, being a chiropractor, it's one of my specialties. 3 years after I had started my first practice and in Manhattan Beach, I also went to Chinese medical school. So I've got that whole perspective on basically chiropractic and acupuncture. And although I didn't practice a lot of acupuncture because chiropractic seems to be the thing that I was best at. I could get patients better more quick, and I enjoyed doing that. So just so that you understand what chiropractic does, when you're having pain, what's happening is the nerve is signaling in that area, and it'll also signal the muscles to tighten up so that it guards the area, because the body is all about survival.
Yes.
So what chiropractors do is we actually manipulate the body, so spinal manipulations. It actually takes pressure off the joint so that it'll improve the joint function of the area that we're working on. And when you start improving that function, it'll help restore the proper biomechanics. Then the nerve signals that area is okay. So it'll take off that pain. It definitely takes therapy. Some patients are seen 3 times a week, also, 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes months, depending on what the condition is. But what's so cool about chiropractic is that, and what's cool about the spine and our bodies in general, is that, number one, we have this innate intelligence. So cellularly, when you're taking pressure off of the body's starting to heal itself. What's also cool is that our major nerves are stored within our vertebral bodies, and each nerve that comes out of the spine goes to certain areas of the body. So, for instance, if you're having neck pain and your neck is really tight, what happens is that puts pressure on those nerves, and it can affect your eyes, the way that you feel, how much energy you have, your thyroid, your lungs, your sinuses, things like that. This is why chiropractic works for like allergies, or you actually see better after an adjustment, because those areas in the neck, for instance, the cervical spine, those nerves actually have pressure being taken off of them. So all of a sudden, those areas start functioning normally. Same thing goes with like your mid-back. Those nerves go into your heart, your lungs, your pancreas, stomach, kidneys, your large intestines and your small intestines. So if you're having problems with your stomach, if you're getting fluttering in your heart, if you're not able to breathe as well, chiropractic adjustments work for that. And then also with the low back. Now, you've got the problem with your low back and pain, but
Correct.
you have to think about what nerves are in your low back. So those nerves go into the reproductive organs, they go into the bladder, they go into the rectum, but also when your back is tight, it can also affect your legs. And because of the way the nerves, the motor nerves, go out to function your legs. So it's obviously pretty complicated as far as what's going on, but it's one of the reasons why chiropractors can help so many symptoms that people have no idea about.
Right, and I agree. And, I've always thought that maybe I had a pinched nerve because I couldn't explain the cold numbness in my left leg, and and so for a while, I mean, it impacted my lower back, but I would say it was more mid back, right? Mid to higher back, and I thought it was the shoulders, and I had gone to a chiropractor before because I got in an auto accident. And what I didn't know was that some of those injuries can linger for years. In fact, the chiropractor that I had seen had said, "Oh, you've been in a car accident before," and I was thrown off. I'm like, "Well, how did you know? A mind reader." And he goes, "No, you have some pre-existing injuries that can go back, and if you don't treat it, it can just hang on for a while." So, so I thought I had a pinched nerve or something, but it's something that I cannot find quite a relief for. I've done many things. And I found that chiropractic work combined with maybe massage therapy was a good solution for me, at least a temporary solution.
Absolutely. The thing is when you're getting adjusted and also with massage, you're increasing the blood flow to the area also. Remember, when those muscles are really tight and when there's injuries, the body wants to help restore that. So what it does is it throws in scar tissue.
Okay.
So our muscles have these nice parallel fibers, and then when you get injured and the body starts making scar tissue, the scar tissue is cross fibers because it wants to anchor the area down. So when you're getting massage, when they're working out those knots, they're sometimes breaking down that scar tissue, and then all of a sudden you get more blood flow to the area, and things feel looser. So you just have to continue to get treatment, is what it sounds like, because you have a chronic condition.
Right.
And, sometimes there's no going back. I've been in 2 really severe car accidents, and I ended up getting disc protrusions. So the discs in between the vertebrae, the first accident, I got 3 disc protrusions in my neck and 2 in my back. So that was in 2005. And then just in 2015, I was in a broadside collision and ended up, now I have 8 disc protrusions. So there's no going back holistically with that. I can hang upside down on an inversion table. I can do exercises and all sorts of different holistic remedies for myself. But it never really is the same, because, it messes up the structure to where the structure cannot repair itself and go backward.
Right.
And there's lasers and things that, can help out with the pain. But for the most part, once you start dramatically changing the biomechanics with injuries, they kind of stack on top of each other.
I agree. And I've done that too, where the inverted table, or, when I get an adjustment, I can feel my spine kind of being pulled apart, which is great. It gives me relief. And then I know that once I start picking up heavy items, I feel this compression. And it's like, oh my goodness, here we go again. And you start getting those spasms, like a stabbing pain in the mid back. So, we're going to take a short break, but I want to discuss, you mentioned activities and working out. And I would say that also has had an impact on my body as well before, maybe tearing into the issue and muscles. So I want to touch up a little bit on that because I know you have a lot of experience with, working out and sports injuries and stuff like that. So we'll go a quick break and then we'll come back and we'll tackle that next.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up.
Are you still suffering from a chronic, painful condition that will just not go away? Ever wonder what else there is that would help you experience the health and life that you were designed to have?
Hi, my name is Nacho Yescas, and I am the host of the new show, Total Health Collective, live Saturday afternoons at 5 p.m. here on 1150 a.m. KKNW. Tune into our network and let our network tune into you. Let our Total Health Collective be your Total Health Connective.
Tune in Saturdays 5 to 6 on 1150 a.m.
Your business is not about criminals. When hiring new employees or protecting your premises, no one thinks they are bringing in someone who is untrustworthy or that they have an unguarded arena. But it happens. In this world, there's no such thing as 100% guaranteed security. However, at Apache 6, we are 100% ready to help you create the layers necessary for optimal outcome, whether hiring new staff or securing your business. From vetting, access control, and cybersecurity to surveillance and workplace awareness training, we work 24/7 to reduce compromised safety and the millions of dollars lost every day by way of employee theft and imminent outside dangers. From vetting, access control, and cybersecurity to surveillance and workplace awareness training, we work 24/7 to reduce compromised safety and the millions of dollars lost every day by way of employee theft and imminent outside dangers. Your business was never meant to be about criminals, and our job here at Apache 6 is to help you stop the criminal before there is a crime.
Call us at Apache 6 today, 866-222-7715. That's 866-222-7715.
Broaden your horizons. You'll be amazed at all the topics we cover on Alternative Talk 1150.
I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
Welcome back to the Total Health Collective here on 1150 AM KKNW. My special guest is Dr. Faith, and we were discussing sports injuries and, the things that can break down our bodies and how we can self-heal. So, Dr. Faith, welcome again. We last talked about here the sports injuries, right? I know that, you have some experience with bodybuilding and you definitely understand the anatomy of our muscles and what have you, because I've done the same thing, and some of these injuries kind of result back to those days. So tell us a little bit about, bodybuilding and how you can enlighten me, I guess, on our bodies.
All right. Well, I started when I was 14 and a half, and I come from an obese family, so a lot of farm families. And in my family, there's a lot of heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. So at 14 and a half, I was getting fat myself, and I was like, I'm not going to go this direction. So I found a gym. It was Aquarius Health Club, and it was an all-women's gym, and I started working out there.
Okay.
Boy, oh boy, the energy that you get, how much better you feel about yourself, it was amazing.
Yep.
Aquarius Health Club was taken over by Gold's Gym. Go figure, right? When I'm 14 and a half, I'm now stuck working in Gold's Gym. And it was the full, like warehouse style where they just roll up the door, like the garage door.
Yep. Home
and
gym
no
type.
air conditioning. You're just pumping iron. So that's how everything began for me, really, with a change in literally my habits, going to the gym, eating super healthy, maybe not super healthy, because I remember back then, because I wanted to bulk up, so we would be eating peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
Yep, I definitely know about that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you ate a lot, yet stayed super, super trimmed and lean, mean muscle mass.
Yeah, that's hard.
So that kind of was my beginning. Like, what a blessing from God to, like, throw me into the scenario at such a young age.
Amen.
So with that, when you're bodybuilding is that conviction that comes with it, and I call it the conviction mindset. And I actually have followed through with the conviction mindset to this day
That's
when I'm coaching clients and things like that.
That's awesome.
But it's a mindset. Bodybuilding is definitely a mindset. It's definitely a practice that, as you know, people who love exercise do sometimes daily or 2 or 3 times a week at least at this point.
It's a way of life.
But it does. Yeah, it is a way of life. And what's so great about it is we are so concerned in what we're eating that it is super healthy, organic, non-GMO, the protein, the vegetables, the fruits, like getting all of the nutrients that we need. And then supplementing also, to increase our health that way. Because I think all of the United States knows now that our soils are depleted.
Mm-hmm.
We don't get the minerals and vitamins as much as we did, say, 50 years ago or 100 years ago. So I think supplementation is really important for the human body nowadays.
Right. We are what we eat.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And that's
We are.
And that's the thing, some of these chemicals that we consume, I'm a big believer that we are causing our own cancer. I mean,
Oh, for sure.
it is increasing by the day. And that's the thing, that our nutrition is, you talked about nutrition, how important it is, and I think it's critical. And, I'm not perfect. I don't know anyone who is, and I'm the kind of guy who's always on the go. And, to prep a meal, I was reading an article, and I think you might know this article, where it's hard. It's hard to work, 8 to 12. Sometimes people are doing 16-hour days, and then they come home and prep a solid meal. It's hard. And we're at the mercy of these fast food chains, and I'm guilty. I'm guilty, and I need to improve on that. So, talk a little bit about our nutrition and what we're putting in our bodies, because I honestly feel that we are causing our own cancers.
Well, of course, I'm like, ooh, because
Yes.
this isn't the right thinking.
Yes.
That has to change because number one is your health. So it's a necessity for people to make a choice
Mm-hmm.
to eat super healthy and put that in the forefront of your day.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's hard to plan these things out, but in my refrigerator, I don't have bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When I go shopping, it is mandatory. It's organic, non-GMO, that the meats aren't pumped with antibiotics and steroids. We have to think about our children also. I have a 15-year-old daughter that's eaten organic all her life, and I always had to think about, okay, can't have antibiotics in this, can't have the steroids, and, it's totally a necessity. So I'd like to change everybody's mindset and their thought pattern with saying, hey, you have control here. This is your body. It's your temple. What are you choosing to take a drink of or a bite of? And another thing, you have a choice about your thoughts. So your thoughts should be healthy and clear and happy. And when they're not, recognize that and turn it around, because your thoughts alone and emotions can contribute to the cancer.
I agree.
And here's the thing. We all have cancer cells.
Yes.
When they go crazy, there's a reason why they go crazy. Something switched it on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important for people to think about, what have I done? How can I change this? What necessary steps do I have to take so that I can be my best self and detox my body and conquer the cancer?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's well said. And
that is taking initiative.
It is.
And
Absolutely.
a lot of people don't nowadays, and that saddens me. And this is why I'm so hardcore, whether I'm a coach or your doctor or your friend or your therapist or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I'm there for each person that's set in front of me or gives me a call or emails me, and I'm going to get them to the right person, to the right solution, at least try my best to do that. And if not, they can fly out to me in California. I'm good with that, too.
Absolutely. We'll go to break right here, right now.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host, guest, and callers, and not necessarily those of KKNW, its management, or other advertisers. Contests are the responsibility of the host of this program and not KKNW. This is Alternative Talk 1150 AM, KKNW Seattle, and KVRQ 98.9 HD3 Seattle.
I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
Welcome back to the Total Health Collective here on 1150 AM KKNW. My special guest today is Dr. Faith Ann Jerry, a veteran with, like myself, suffering from a, ailment that, is prior from the military and things like that. So, Jerry, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Dr. Faith was telling me about, a very compelling story. And I know that she has, she's like an earth angel. I'll tell you that right now. People who are healers have this very special power, great human beings. And they have that gift to be able to help us and see things and feel things that, that I couldn't. I'm not a doctor by any means. And, I wanted you to see if you can address or tell my listeners a little bit about what you've gone through. As a veteran, I can't tell your story. Only you can. So I would love for you to tell me and my listeners a little bit about what you're going through.
What I'm going through is enjoying life right now.
Awesome.
I enjoy life every single day.
Awesome. That's how I look at it.
Life is great. I wake up in the morning, I say, oh, thank you. I have another day. If I see someone that looks sad and I ask them what they're doing, they say, oh, I'm just having a bad day. I say, well, you're lucky because you woke up this morning. Some people did not wake up.
See, I love that positive mindset. I love it.
Anyway, I am retired military.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
I enjoyed serving my country every minute.
Mm-hmm.
I was great serving. I was drafted. That's how old I am. And during those days, there was the Vietnam War, and unfortunately, I was sent there.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was there, I was in an area where there was a lot of shrubs where the enemy used to hide, so they used to spray this stuff called Agent Orange, not realizing that it was bad to spray it on people, so all of us guys got sprayed with Agent Orange. It was a very oily substance, and but it didn't affect. Maybe it did over the years, not realizing what it was and what it was doing to me. But eventually, I ended up with cancer, and I cleared the cancer and doing great. But the thing about cancer, it does take a toll on your body because it, not only, as people know, kills the cancer cells, it kills the good cells. But you got to stay positive. You got to wake up in the morning and don't even think about it. Just do what you usually do.
Mm-hmm.
Just move on. And I did. I even went to work during chemotherapy, and thank God I was healed. And doing great. And the number one cancer caused by Agent Orange was the cancer that I had, and I was doing really good, and I enjoyed life. And then something else came out, and I ended up with a massive heart attack.
Wow.
And the heart attack I had was the number one heart attack caused by Agent Orange. Yay, Agent Orange. But anyway, I survived that. The thing about me surviving the heart attack was the fact that my whole life I stayed healthy. I never drank, never smoked, never took drugs, and exercised constantly and watched what I ate. And that's how I survived a heart attack, because after the flight surgeon still think military. After the surgeon, he operated on me. A couple of days later, he came in and said I was one of the best patients he had, and it was because of the fact that I exercised. And I was in my 60s, and my heart was like a 30-year-old. That's why I survived. So really, really an effort to exercise. It's not just a 1 month, 2 months. It's a lifetime thing to stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go up against these things and move on. And I was actually kicked out of the hospital after 6 days of open heart surgery, and they put me in the gym, and I'm doing great. Just moving on. You got to stay positive all the time. Think what's ahead. Think about your family and your friends. That you're going to be seeing them in the next couple of days. Always stay positive. That's the key.
That's awesome. That's
And, there were so many people that were there supporting me. Faith, I've known her for many years, and she's Dr. Faith. That's why she got the name Faith. She had faith in me.
Yeah, meant to be.
Got a good name, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I've known her for years, and she's helped me a lot through the cancer, quite a bit. Every time before I went to chemo, I went to see her, and she stay positive, Jerry, and that helped a lot. So friends like Faith and other friends I had that helped me was great, and my family. You got the support, that's great. But it's all up to you. you have to take care of yourself first. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just the power of the mind, Dr. Faye. We were speaking about that earlier, just positivity, and, it's about self-healing. It's about having the will to live, and that's where I feel that it's part of the self-healing. I say that all the time that, I can't imagine being told, and when I'm sure like anybody else, you get bad news, you get tunnel vision, and your thinking can ultimately start impacting your train of thought, your organs, and you can stop living life. That's kind of how I felt after the military. I just kind of started giving up a little bit and just feeling sorry for myself. And we turn to drugs, to drinking, and then we manifest these things. And I realized that we have the power within us to self heal.
That's what happened when I came back from Vietnam. I didn't think about what happened the past year. I thought about, thank God I'm here, I'm safe, and I'm going to move on. I didn't think about that year I was there, and I hardly ever think about it. I think about my friends mainly.
Right, that's
that
awesome.
I served in Vietnam with,
Right.
But
and
the things that went on there.
Dr. Faith, you had mentioned too that with your healing, right? That were you able to see describe how you were able to kind of see that? Did you recommend he go get checked out?
Yeah, Jerry was a patient of mine, and now we're good friends. I mean, it's way past that doctor-patient relationship. We're really good friends. Wow, Jerry, it was probably 18 years ago, would you say, when you first stepped into my office?
Yeah, it was 1998, I believe.
There you go. And
and you were what? You were 20 years old.
And I was
right?
a teenager. I was 25 at the 25. I was 27 at the time when I met you.
And now you're 28.
Exactly.
Yes.
Anyways, when I met Jerry, I mean, we have such like energy as far as being super happy, loving, productive, carefree, and doing what you're supposed to do. A ton of integrity. Jerry had been coming in the office to get adjusted, and there came a time when he was complaining about a sore throat, and just mentioning it. I have to say, Jerry doesn't complain, and but he mentioned a sore throat, and I said, "Well, what are the medical doctors doing for it?" And he said, "It's all right. I'm on antibiotics." But I got that month after month from him, and I didn't want to alarm him, but I did want him to have the MDs take a deeper look. And so I said, "Hey, Jerry," I said, I don't want to scare you. And I said, "But can you just have them take a biopsy, have somebody take a biopsy of your throat?" And because I was getting concerned. When you're taking antibiotics on, a regular basis for something that's not going away, you for luck. And so what did you do, Jerry? You went to...
Well, yeah, I went to the doctor, and there was actually two doctors. And, one doctor came in, and he couldn't find anything wrong, so we brought another doctor in. They both looked down my throat and checked me and checked my tonsils. They said, "We don't see anything wrong." And I could barely talk. And I basically said, "Well, do something. Do a biopsy. Please do something." So they did a biopsy right there. And then the very next day, they called me up and said that I had cancer.
Wow.
And it was a shock. It was a shock. It was a big shock. But I only let that bother me one day. Then I said, "Okay, I'm going to fight this." And I started looking for, a cancer oncologist and went right through the whole system and, fought it. And I was good. And I've been cancer-free since.
Wow.
But the key to the whole thing is, like Dr. Faith said, is knowing your body. Understand what your body sends you messages. So if it sends a message and you're feeling something unusual, don't just sit there. Go get checked. You never know. That's what happened to me with my heart attack. I could feel it, and something was wrong. So I went to the hospital, and they even said when I went to the hospital, there was nothing wrong. Then I had the attack again, and they kept me in there and ended up having a massive heart attack.
Wow.
But listen to your body. Get your physicals. Get your annual physicals. Make sure everything's okay, especially as you get over there,
Right.
So.
Wow, you're lucky, that you actually took yourself to the hospital and it happened again. Because, imagine for the rest of us who just, and I'm included in that. I'm not going to lie. I'm being honest with you that,
Don't get paranoid, though. Don't get
absolutely.
paranoid,
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
We feel something, right? We instantly go to Google, we go to WebMD, we read something like, oh, yep, I got that. Oh, I got that too, you know? And that's the crazy part. You know, we self-diagnose ourselves, but, you know, I'm just as guilty. You know, eventually I said, you know, enough is enough. I get myself checked out just, you know, for checkups type deal. But you're absolutely right, you know, and having a positive mindset is everything, because you're right. You know,
and enjoy life.
Yes.
You know, you got life. Enjoy it. Have good, fun times with your friends and family, and just enjoy life.
Absolutely. You know,
don't sit around and mope around. Go out and do things.
Right. You know, and we're talking about, you know, our way of our life, you know, nutrition and our health, and, you know, what we can do. And that plays a big part, I think, you know, and like I said, what we eat. I had a friend who's got diagnosed with colon cancer, and he has changed his diet completely. He's more plant, grain, nuts, you know, type deal. Got rid of the red meat, you know, not dramatically, but you know, he's doing his part. And, you know, Dr. Faye, before Jerry had jumped on, we talked about working out and, you know, nutrition, and you know, is there anything that you know, even for like, you know, for those who have a chronic illness, they just cannot get out of bed, you know, and get to the gym. What can we do to slowly start changing our ways? You know, does it start in the kitchen? Does it start how, you know, what we're prepping? You know, is it a matter of just getting off the couch and just a little bit of activity? What can we do today to start battling, you know, our cancers or you know, our future cancers?
Well, for the people that are staying in bed, I think they need to start visualizing.
Okay.
You know, toward their health, visualizing them taking that step out of bed and taking that next step. You know, I know it's very, very difficult when you feel broken and you stay in bed and you don't feel good, and it's just not with cancer patients, but I mean, I could name off 100 different diagnoses that people don't feel good and they're going to stay in bed, but they have to literally at least start visualizing something good in their future so that they can step out and get out of that bed, and to be able to practice strategies that are fully within their own control of where they're at now and taking those steps, because it's so important to their health and to their survival. Because if they don't, they'll go backwards.
Right.
And they'll give up. You know, emotionally, everything gets a letdown. And so the first step, if a person cannot get out of bed, is to visualize towards it and then start mustering up that energy to make those steps. You know, if it's whether to go see your grandkids or just to get out into the living room, you know, they have to have some kind of goal is what it comes down to. And, you know, people pass away every single day because they've given up hope. So I think the number one thing is to muster up that vision so you don't have any lack of hope.
Right. You know, the other thing too is, I lost my train of thought here, but I was going to say in regards to, you know, our location, geographical location, you know, Jerry had mentioned that, you know, he was in Vietnam, and he, you know, by no choice of his, you know, he was exposed to Agent Orange, and, you know, you got to thinking, depending on where we are in part of the country or the world, you know, for example, when I was in Africa, you know, the locals would burn their trash every day, and I would see this huge line just full of smog, and, you know, I'm breathing in this stuff, and I keep telling myself, man, what is going to happen to me in a few years when I get back stateside, you know, and what does that do to us? You know, I mean, some of us just don't have any say-so in where we live, you know, California, you know, Mexico, Asia, you name it. There, you know, we're burning up a lot of fuel. We're exposed to certain smells, and you know, and just how can that impact? I know for me, for breathing, you know, I don't know what do you call it, but it's kind of like chronic deal where it's have a hard time breathing. The exposure, you know, like I said.
Yeah, there's so many things to be exposed to. I was stationed in Norway, and when I was there, that's when Chernobyl blew up.
Oh, jeez.
And that fallout came towards Oslo, Norway, where I was. Actually, I think in the news they had to kill because they, you know, raised deer there like we raise cows.
Okay.
And they had to kill a lot of deers because they were exposed to it. And I said, wow, was I exposed to that too? So,
Yeah. But here-
wherever you live, you're going to be exposed to certain, things, and you just have to, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Right, and also have that mindset because, there is proof that every 7 years our bodies are a whole new body, basically, because our cells are always turning over. So we have cells that are eating up the bad cells. We have cells that are reproducing and making healthy new ones. And so if you go in the mindset, I don't think there's hardly anywhere in the world anymore that you don't have some kind of pollution or you don't have the food supply or you don't have healthy water and things like that. So people do need to make the best situation of whatever they're living in and understand they do have control.
Mm-hmm.
And despite the pollution, and my goodness, my daughter is 15 years old, and she just told me a couple of days ago that she doesn't think that she wants to have any kids because she doesn't want to bring a child into this lifetime.
Wow.
Because of all the garbage. And I thought, whoa, you know, that's pretty crazy, and it's a good argument on why she wouldn't want to have children, but the joy that they give also.
Absolutely.
And you don't know who you're going to be bringing into this lifetime. So if people had the mindset that I'm going to be the best that I can be with what I have right here,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, the mindset alone will help to heal the body.
Mm-hmm.
The body and the cells will be programmed that way to make you, let's just call it a superhuman, and to be able to survive within the pollution on the earth right now. So I think there's so many different ways of, helping each individual, and everybody's so unique. But, I think number one is that trust, that our body has that innate intelligence to heal yourself. Mm-hmm. And, of course, there's this universal intelligence also you can always lean on, which is the spirituality, practicing healing prayer, visualization, meditation, also being surrounded by the people that are positive and support you. Don't be in an area where there's a bunch of negative people. You don't need naysayers. You need to be a warrior.
Yes.
Get out of bed, do the things that you're supposed to, in the capabilities that you have.
Always.
And listening to uplifting music, boom, can put you in a different state.
Yep. Always putting out positive vibes.
Jumping into a swimming pool, boom, changes you.
Wow.
So all these different things, all of a sudden, you can have these endorphins, flooding through you within seconds if you just took the step to do something that's exciting and fun, and move forward that way.
Right. You have positive mindset, positive vibes. Absolutely.
Right.
Jerry,
laughing.
Right.
Laughing will do it too.
Yes. Oh my God. Comedy, laughter. That's just, the love for yourself, love for humanity. That's
right.
I keep telling people that I found the cure for cancer, and it's called love. And people look at me kind of cross-eyed, and I said, "No, you have no idea. Let me break it down for you." So, so that's Jerry. Thank you for your time, and I know that you're a busy man, and thank you for telling your story.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I just wish everybody would, like Faith says, stay positive.
Yeah.
Negative brings you stress. Put stress on your body. It's not good. So always think positive.
Awesome.
And move on.
Right.
There's always tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Jerry, thank you for your time. And like I said, we're going to go here in a break here. And again, thank you for your service, and thank you for coming on today.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up.
What would having your family home be secure really feel like? Our houses are only important in that they are where we hold who is precious to us. The choices you make today affect the choices you could make tomorrow. All things being equal, would you make the choice to be secure? What would it feel like if you could prevent your home from being one of the 18 homes every minute that is broken into? What if you could safeguard your family from being one of the 30 people every day that are harmed in a home invasion? Would you do it? At Apache 6, we know nothing is 100% preventable. We also know that there are some things that are 100% irreplaceable. Our mission is to protect that which is most precious to us, life. Protect it.
Call us at Apache 6 today, 866-222-7715. That's 866-222-7715.
Alternative Talk 1150. Local talk for the body, mind, and soul.
I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way
Welcome back to the Total Health Collective here at 1150 AM KKNW. My guest, Dr. Faith, and we just finished talking to Jerry, who had acquired cancer, and, most likely he probably acquired this while he was in the service and, due to the effects of Agent Orange. Dr. Faith, we're talking about nutrition, the things that we put in our body. It's what a remarkable story about Jerry. There's no way that I could ever explain his story. And, I know he's a busy man, so he had to go. But, and any words, like nutrition, I definitely want you to tackle nutrition, because even though I self-proclaimed, I try to eat healthy, take my vitamin pills and stuff like that, I'm nowhere near as knowledgeable on that nutrition. So if you can touch a little bit on that.
Absolutely. We were talking about practicing strategies also that were fully within your own control, and it's so important for your health and your survival at this time if you do have cancer.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing you need to do, you have to switch up things and become impeccable in what your choices are.
Mm-hmm.
So not only diet, but the mindset, getting up out of bed, continuing with a super positive attitude. And I know everybody, all your listeners had to feel the positivity that Jerry exudes. And that's his true self.
Yes. Yes.
He chose not to think about the cancer. He chose healing thoughts and things like that. Also, that healing diet is imperative for a person to go further and be able to overcome cancer. So just think about everything that you eat from here on forward.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be, if your listeners want to take a list, I hope you guys have some pens and paper. It should be organic, non-GMO, not pumped with antibiotics and steroids. You should be juicing, so vegetable juicing is a must, consuming probiotic foods, taking immune-boosting supplements, decreasing your stress. Do not let people come around you that are negative and they're telling you negative stories, because that energy alone alerts your cells, and you just don't feel as good in their presence as you would with somebody that supports you and loves you and gives you good stories. You want to practice some kind of healing prayer. It's scientifically proven that prayer helps the human being. You want to be able to visualize the good. When Jerry came to me after I asked him to go get a biopsy, and he walked into my office and he said, "Guess what? I got cancer."
Mm.
You know what my words were? I was like, "Great, we know where we're starting."
Wow.
So don't think that any diagnosis, such as cancer, is your end. It's actually your beginning, because you now have power to do something about it. If something's a mystery and you don't know about it, it could linger forever. And that's when cancer can take over. But when you become aware and you accept that and you walk in your power, you have more chance of a survival. So what I did with Jerry, I said, okay, now we need to do a plan. What I'd like to do with you. And I gave him X, Y, and Z. Back then, I loved mangosteen juice, and mangosteen juice has properties of fighting cancer and killing cancer. So he drank probably a bottle of mangosteen every single day.
Wow.
And, it's expensive, too, to get the right one that has all those cancer-fighting qualities. But I also told him we're going to meditate together. So when you come into the office, we're going to meditate together, Jerry. And what we're going to do is create a meditation where when you're doing your chemo, instead of thinking, okay, I've got chemo going through me, you're thinking these are soldiers. And these soldiers are fighting the cancer. So that's where his visualizations were at. Everything was very powerful when we were going through his healing process.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very good at implementing each step that I told him. One of those things also is walking in nature. When you're able to ground yourself,
getting grounded, yes.
The body's able to heal better. And really caring for yourself is super important. You want to be able to do some kind of light exercise. Jerry never laid down, you guys. He kept doing what he does in his life. And at that point, it was light exercise every day. So the type of exercise that wouldn't cause inflammation. So make sure it's light exercise. Also listening to uplifting music. completely stop watching the news. So
I agree.
anything bad on TV, you need
Yes.
to turn the channel.
Absolutely.
Only inspirational TV and movies.
Absolutely. 100% agree
Yeah.
with that. Yeah, absolutely.
And then laughing, being around people so, you're able to laugh, have a good time. It's crazy because now they do laugh therapy, and it's amazing.
Right.
And what happens is that the brain releases these healing endorphins that can make you feel more empowerment and hope when you're battling any disease.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes a long way in the healing process.
Right.
So,
And doesn't that also
think-
feed into our kind of is that serotonin? Isn't that what releases?
oh, absolutely.
You know.
It's all the good chemicals that make you feel good.
Yes.
So when you are happy, your body feels really good. And also, laughter reduces stress. And I know a lot of cancer patients have to be stressed,
Mm-hmm.
because of the whole diagnosis in itself, or maybe they're going backwards and things like that. But you can definitely move forward. So laughing reduces stress. It elevates your mood. It lowers blood pressure. It boosts the immune system. It improves brain function. It protects your heart. There's so many. I could go on and on
Absolutely.
and on.
And
for
we
people
should
to feel good.
and we should put a list together. I'd love to get with you afterwards, and we'll create a list and we'll put it on the website so the listeners can have, if they're driving or what have you, so they have a list of some of these things that are holistic, and it's I obviously believe something. These are something that we can do today, right now, and it doesn't require us to make an appointment with our doctors or anything like that. So, last week I did a group meditation session, and I had never done that before. I've done my own little to do it yourself. How do I meditate? But doing it with a group, having that energy, there's something about that, and so that's a whole different show as well. And I'd love to be able to discuss that with you, Dr. Faith, here in the future. You mentioned stress. I mean, my goodness, I work in a very stressful environment, where I bodyguard work, security work, where I'm constantly always an alert, looking, who's looking at me type thing. And then that, the people's energy, that sometimes they're very angry and they have this outward towards
Right.
myself or a client. So I get that. I feel drained when I get home. I feel all this energy that's just negative energy that's even been put out there in this universe, and it attacks me. And it's like, luckily for me, I put up my walls and my shield to prevent such things.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to be able to tackle with you as well. So, you're involved with so many things, and I want to tell the listeners, the best way to reach you. I mentioned at the top of the show, the websites, but I want to mention them again here. So you have worldwideimpactcoaching.com, and I think the most important one here is the faitheffectglobal.com. I also have them on our website as well. If you go to the thishealscancer.com and go to the blog section, you'll see these links. But how can they reach you, Dr. Faith? Is there they can easily hit you.
I have a business line. They can reach me on the telephone if they're in the United States.
Perfect. Yeah, if you want to give us that number.
Yeah, my business line is 310-251-4003. And those websites, the faitheffectglobal.com is fantastic. I mean, that's personal development, but you can also read comments from patients and clients, that I coach with business. So I'm not just a health coach, chiropractor. I'm a business coach also. I love building businesses and helping people map out their strategies and things like that so they're highly successful. I do believe people have to work on all aspects of their life, and the financial is a really huge aspect in life. And that's why I'm like, you know what? I've always been into business. I've had so many businesses in my life. I can show people how to do them and also map them out and brainstorm. But financial worries really are harmful to the body.
Awesome.
And it really eats into people. So once again, my phone number is 310-251-4003. And you guys, what I'll do is I will do a 30-minute free consultation, and you can run anything by me. I don't care if it's business, personal development, your health. Maybe there's a doctor in the area that you may need to see, and you can't figure out who to go to that's good, things like that.
Awesome.
So
Thank you so much.
It out there for you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Faith, for your time. And, we'll put that link up on the website as well. Thank you so much for being with me today. I want to give a shout out to Chemo Beanies. Stay safe. I mean, first and foremost, stay safe, stay fit, and remember the power to heal yourself is within you. Have a good night.
Exclusive.
stop me. I'm all the way up.